Oh boy, it was a long wait, but we've reached the other side, and I'm quite happy with what we found there. It did turn out that, of course, Wing and ExBlack, two of the best teams in the region, did walk away with the victory. And now they're facing off against TeamKeepoEZBT, which is a fantastic name in its own right.
Just quickly, we do have a little bit of issues with ESL, as it looks like... Oh, no, never mind. The winning in ExBlack's last match was against Go4, and it was 4-5, a very close draw. Almost a draw. Well, fight to the final round there, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle against Team Keepo.
Oh, well, these are two of the best teams in the European region, and I cannot wait to go ahead and see them square off in battle here. And all these teams are very, very viable, so I don't know quite what's going to tip it in either direction, but yeah, I'd have to go back to the team comps, because ExBlack insists on running Pearl, and though I personally love Pearl, she's not shown off her viability recently, has she?
Well, it's here and there. We have seen much stronger Old Ears and, of course, Lucy, everyone's favourite support. But it'll be interesting to see what Winghaven picks up in contrast to the Pearl. Just quickly, we do have every other team. So the top 8 is Bruce Lee, Browns on Fleek. It will probably be Hello, which is made up of a previous winner from ages ago, Dash It. So, and of course, Project Horizon versus Paralyzed, which is basically, this is the top 8 in Europe. This is insanely packed.
Yeah, I mean, when you put up decent cash prizes for the ESL tournaments, people will come, and I cannot wait to see how it comes out on top this second week. Of course, we did see Project Horizon walk away during week 1, but that was at the same time as one of the Masters of Bacon qualifiers, I believe. So there definitely was not the full showing that we expected.
Yes, we could see Team Keepo, who won the Masters of Bacon off the top of my head. They could actually make it to the grand finals this time. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, no conflicting schedules should mean that we have different teams going different lengths, and Team Project Horizon, it's by no means a done deal they're going to win a second week in a row. We are, of course, picking the map right now as we talk over the screen. They're going ahead, they're negotiating that. But I don't know much about Team ExBlack. I don't know. See, I don't even know their name. I don't know much about them. What do you have to say about their team comps? How do they run it? Dropbear, you're my analysis man. Talk to me.
Well, Team Keepo is actually usually a 3v3 kind of team. They usually play with, I believe it is the Dr. Paul. I'm going to have to recheck that name. I've probably horribly messed it up. It's a different person. It does help to have stats on hand sometimes. Unfortunately, I don't have them right now. But they have been just constantly dominating the top tiers of well, mostly all of Europe. If I have to pick it up, like they had, of course, last Battlerite, they literally went to pretty much the second... Oh my god, sorry, the second round, the semi-finals, and just had to drop out because of Masters of Bacon, as you said. But after that, they won Masters of Bacon. They were the winners.
I know you're talking about important things. I just like to point out that Eager in the chat wrote, "I love your voice in casting, TJ," and I was like, thanks. And then I looked down at my little puppy right here next to me, and I was like, I'm gonna pet that little puppy. And everything about this was beautiful. It was a good moment. I like compliments from Twitch chat. Because, you know, a compliment from Twitch chat is worth like 1,000 times what any other compliment would be worth, because Twitch chat is so often full of angry people.
TJ Salt, all spammed everywhere, usually.
Yep, especially when I'm casting, who knows? We are just waiting on the map picks to come through now. We're beginning the banning right now. What map do you see this being played on? Obviously, it varies, and a lot of teams are okay with most of the maps, but where would you go ahead and predict this going?
Well, of course, the map picks also depend on what the heroes are going to be. So, we do know ExBlack does prefer the Pearl, but the big question is, are we going to be seeing a ranged hero, or are we going to be seeing a very, very strong melee hero like the Rukan or Bako? Bako especially needs that charge, as well as Rook, obviously. So, of course, during those melee characters need those walls to be facing inwards in the arena, just making sure there's walls actually to push people into, whereas other heroes will be wanting, for example, Sky Ring Knight, which is basically just a giant X and almost no walls in the middle circle to speak of. It's just 4 pointed narrow angles, which we will be going to. So maybe seeing a few ranged spots here.
Hopefully, we'll be able to see what we're sticking with as we don't go ahead and get into it. The map ban has gone through. We're going into Skyring Knight. Does that mean anything specific to you in terms of the champion picks we're going to get?
No Bako, because Bako is obviously just not going to be helpful because it is that X formation. But
yeah.
That being said,
so of course the walls are not set up in a way that you can easily slam somebody into them from that center point of the map, or even from any normal fighting area, because the walls are slanted away from most of the conflict in that X formation. They divide up the map, but they don't do so in a way that's easy to pin people into corners. It's easy to do that in the center of the map. Now, interestingly, this map does still have corners you can get trapped in and you can get murdered in. So it will be an interesting. It will be an interesting kind of thing to see them exploit here.
Yes, and that's probably like there's a lot of choke points on this map, especially because of how tight those corners are. So I wouldn't be very surprised to see if ExBlack gets those really good bubbles out. But also, if there's an Oldir on the opposite side, or even Lucy with her insanely good poison, flask. As we do get into the map finally, we can finally reveal. Oh, jeez. As I realize I haven't changed the titles, it will be there. But it will be ExBlack on Winghaven on the left as Team Black, ExBlack and Wing.
Okay, I think it was Wing Black, Black Wing, I don't know. Of course, Rambler and Xanox will be on the other side, not as Project Black Wing, but as their very own team. ExBlack. Team Blackwing over on the left will be running that Pearl Taya combo. Bit of an interesting pickup on this map. Taya, of course, does not have too many outs. The Tornado is one of her EX abilities, and maybe the Haste, if she goes ahead, pops it at the right time. Rukan, Lucy, by contrast, is a much more kind of standard lineup for the times, and precisely what you expect. We're seeing a lot of DPS focus coming out of Winghaven and Black here, and I'll be interested to see how it works out.
Good grab onto the Taya there. Winghaven's got to be very careful with this Taya pickup. If he does get grabbed, there's almost, as you said, no way to get out. But ExBlack has been mostly on point with those bubbles. It's just that Winghaven's continuously getting grabs. Oh no!
And look at this already, you see the overextension out of Winghaven. He's fighting inside the spawn of his opponent. There he is, burning that Tornado we were talking about, but he's just being chased down. And like we said, there is no way out, and he will fall. ExBlack staying alive for the time being, landing the silence Pearl is a fairly good 1-on-2 champion, but needs to do better than this, and he will accept defeat as his HP pool crumbles. And that will be 1-0 now in favour of the Keepo.
Winghaven, just like the second you get out of position, you can get that Rukon to completely destroy half your health. And Taya does rely on a lot of positioning, really, because of just not being... That's Tornado, and being able to run away is the only outs.
Yeah, it seems just overconfidence, overextension there out of Winghaven, not playing the poke game, instead committing and really paying for it.
As you do see the panic on ExBlack, Winghaven, I think, is trying to... was trying to be out of the range of the grab, but does manage to get grabbed anyway, as the orb will go the way of Xanox and Randler.
ExBlack will be able to provide the healing necessary to keep Winghaven at tip-top HP, but look at the silence coming through. The tidal wave won't be procced in the sense the tornado keep ExBlack alive for the time being. The dive will do doubly so, but there he's used all his outs, and he's inside the crippling coup, and now he's just got slivers of HP left. There he goes, falling, and it's all down to Winghaven now, and he does not have the champion for the job. He will fall 2-0 now in favour of Xanox and Randler. Can we get the keepos in the chat?
We've been seeing a lot of Lucy's actually just being able to destroy Pearl just because of they know when dive is on cooldown. They just wait for that perfect time. It's like, oh, you've just dived, throw it. Just throw that ultimate down and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, we've seen actually multiple Pearls this tournament suffer that fate. It's very obvious when Pearl has used all her outs, and it's very, very fun to exploit. There's the bubble barrier thrown out already. Winghaven will be trying to dance back and forth, trying to somehow keep this alive. It will be ExBlack with a bit of chip damage, but Winghaven is taking so much more than that as the panic drives the ExBlack right into the front lines. He goes ahead, he uses that dive, he's able to guarantee orb with the aid of Winghaven. That could be huge, but there's the ultimate, the Wraith form answering instantly back. Tornado used to try and get ExBlack out of the fight, but it's a complete waste because now ExBlack, he's all alone.
I think that tornado might have been a miscommunication, misclick, because I think it was trying to target himself.
Well, if only there was a button. There was a self-cast button.
Oh boy. As we do see the third round go the way of Team Keepo. Winghaven, you gotta realize, man, you're not exactly a melee hero, you're ranged. Is there a way to get back into that range poke area?
He does seem to be overextending, doesn't he? He does seem to be consistently just going a little bit too far forward, taking the fight to them a little bit too much, and here it is yet again. Xanox and Randler, they're knowing quite well what's going to happen. They're going to fall back for a while, maybe take some chip damage. Randler's going to keep them both in tip-top shape, and then they're just going to go in, focus down this tail when she overextends, such as right now, and begin the punish.
Oh, very good bubble to avoid the grab. You just walked into the grab in the water bubble. What are you doing?
Losing. There's the ultimate, the companion call instantly in return. The panic does a lot of damage. It will be the win strike to keep himself alive. But look at this, ExBlack, he's been forced to push so far forward with his teammate that now when Randler and Xanox, they regroup. They've got center control, they've got orb, and they have the full EX charge on both Randler and almost Xanox. And it will be ExBlack's whale as the only answer back. We've seen great plays out of ExBlack's as jaws before. It's been fantastic, sometimes snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, but mostly vice versa. Will be Winghaven able to keep himself alive time and time again? The Wraith form ultimate does fly out, trying to just do what's necessary with the chip damage. Now 2 ultimates available. The dive on out will work so far. There's the nice use of the crippling goose. So much damage on the ExBlack. He's able to escape. Very well timed using that bubble barrier. The ultimate companion called raining in the damage the whole time onto Randler, and there's the whale flying through, eating one. That should be Randler gone.
Randler, just in the nick of time before he noticed that he was going to get eaten, used his barrier. So I'm pretty sure that blocked a lot of that fishy damage.
That's the official name of the ability now, Fishy. And the ExBlack will be sending out the healing wave from the back lines. That's the sudden
Pearl
death.
Yells out fishy.
Fair enough. There's the bubble shield available. Oh, nice wind bomb flying out, and the chip damage will begin to come through. As now there is some close range damage out of Windhaven. He's going to continue pushing around this corner. Randler, his primary target, the well, comes out yet again in. Finishes him off this time. But now Windhaven, he's in a bit of a tough situation because you have ExBlack struggling to get back into this battle, but it's not even needed because Windhaven is dominating. Xenox will fall, and that's 1 point to the good now for ExBlack and Windhaven.
884 damage compared to the 568 damage done by Xenox. Windhaven might have just learned, just woken up to his full poking potential. So I think they've finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they were able to kind of play range that time, which sounds silly, right? They're both range champions, why shouldn't they be able to do that? But they genuinely did it that time, and I do believe that it helped. The panic coming out, driving the tail away in the beginning of this round, though, that means that the ExBlack is not in the ideal situation as the focus comes in. Randler, though, definitely suffering at the hands of this Taya here as the wind strike comes in and blows away Xenox. It will allow them to set up, rejuvenate in terms of the ExBlack, and oh, the X-Strike coming through. Windhaven is truly finding his stride now as the companion call does a lot of damage onto Randler. The panic temporarily blowing away, but the focus is definitely still in his core.
That was a brilliant little, I'm going to call it mount run by Windhaven there, just on the managing to get just enough damage onto Randler to bring into a bad place. But that's the good tornado! ExBlack managing to escape the crippling goo there.
Xenox with the return, still trying to even it up. Bubble shield will come out, protecting this Taya for the time being. Windhaven needs to worry. There's the X-Strike landing, though. Significant damage coming through. Great placement there as Windhaven just continues to dominate, but he's being slashed apart at close range. Just only the wind strike to keep himself alive there. Where's the ExBlack in all of this? He's finally coming in now, just to be swallowed up by the right form ultimate out of Xenox, who's doing significant damage. There's the crippling goo to come in and confirm the kill. The tidal wave on the ExBlack won't be triggered. The ultimate will be cancelled out by a great timing of the silence, and the ExBlack needs to find a place where he can thrive. So far, it's not here because there's the Shadow Bolt flying, and the ultimate, the whale, it does grab Lucy, but that just guarantees a 1v1, and that's not nearly enough. You need to do so much more than guarantee a 1v1 versus their healer. You need to win this round, and he's not able to do that. He accepts that defeat, and he will be focused down and removed. Now, 4-1, match point for the red side.
Preview showed that he'd go over the wall on Windhaven. He did use that tornado to try to escape crippling goo, but I guess it didn't work. Oh boy.
And will be hopefully a bit of a change up. Game not lying to them this time as they do begin this focus coming in. Randler and Xenox at decent range, doing a little bit of chip damage, but definitely receiving the majority of it. This isn't how I'd like this round to start if I were them.
Oh, good orb snipe by the good Keepo team. Silence onto Randler finally. They need to focus Randler a little bit more. He's just on this backline, constantly getting this good damage out on, and nothing's really happening.
Will be still even trading so far, and Xenox actually definitely on the weakened end of it. There's the ultimate available from Randler, the companion call coming out the whole time as this Taya does the chip damage. Pulled in and focused. The bubble shield will keep them alive for the time being. ExBlack and co falling black. ExBlack will now have the ultimate available. The shark could rise from the ground at any moment with its ferocious jaws, and it will surely do so the second we see the outs used on the other side.
all ultimates up except for our good... Nope, all ultimates up now. There goes the Winghaven on to the mounts as Xenox and Randler run away to try and get the snipe damage. The ExBlack has to counter and jump away. Randler is not considering using his Poison Flask. There's Tornado. And that, because she's Tornado, they know she has
but
nothing.
the whale.
There's the whale.
Oh, and the companion call also guarantees a lot of damage onto Randler. Sure, the panic drives him away, but the healing coming through from ExBlack is very, very clutch. The focus coming in now onto Xenox is doing a lot of damage. Nice X strike onto Randler. This is perfect multitasking out of Winghaven. And he went from the player we were calling out for failure to the player carrying them to victory. As he continues to demolish, he's actually pulled into the front lines, but the Rubble Shield keeps him alive. There's the Q ability to go and dash on in. Randler, slivers of HP, is going to be able to keep himself alive for the time being, and the ExBlack will be left healing him up as Randler is forced to pop that barrier to do exactly the same. But Xenox, maybe he's taking advantage of a little bit too much greed here over on Winghaven. Never mind, Winghaven finally able to capitalize. Xenox all alone. The ultimate comes through, but the whale will shut down anything he could have had set up.
We could see a comeback. We've seen it before. It's going to be a difficult ride here, but as we do see our damage, 1,160 done by Winghaven, pretty much almost more than double than anyone else on this entire game server. As we do get back underway with round 7.
Randler taking significant damage from the X-Strike initializer. It will be a nice claw of the wicked on in, but the panic lands out of Randler, driving Winghaven away. Frankly, though, that's not the worst thing in the world for him. Xenox able to secure orb for his side with some very quick thinking to go and eat the X-Strike rather than sacrifice the orb to it. The ultimate is available over on Randler should he decide it's necessary, and once again I suspect he'll use it as soon as he's sure they've forced out and out from the ExBlack.
Winghaven having to run away. There's Tornado looking for it. There it is, and they know that's the clarity potion to keep Winghaven in.
Will be a lot of damage onto Winghaven off the back of that indeed, and he's going to be able to barely fall back around the corner, but Xenox still chipping away, still quite happily doing what's necessary to keep himself alive, and it's all now just slivers away from being claimed. It will be a dashing by Winghaven actually to claim it back, and this could actually go either way, as we know of 80 HP for the team, 80% HP over on the red side, and only 66 on the other, 70 and climbing. They're able to secure all the HP nuggets around the arena, and should be orb that they also manage to secure unless something very strange indeed happens.
They have to get Randler on the backside, but they just can't get through, and that's a good panic during the ultimate to waste a little bit of time on that. And a good bubble to... Sorry, you go.
Xenox and Randler able to keep themselves alive in the back lines here. It's not ideal, but they are able to guarantee orb. It will be ExBlack able to escape. There's the ultimate coming through. There's the nice use of crippling goo. Sure, they get the shark, but at what cost? Because look at how low ExBlack is. Randler should be able to get the execution at any moment. Winghaven just counting for the time being, but he doesn't have nearly enough HP to make this last. There's the companion call ultimate coming through. Maybe if you can get the damage onto Randler right now, it could be huge. And indeed, the panic flask does miss. Orb will be in favour of the ExBlack and co as they are able to secure it at close range. Nice wind strike to blow Randler out of the arena. The X-Strike follow through is huge as the arena begins shrinking. They're doing such a good job at keeping Randler occupied, but it's a certain point you need to start worrying about Winghaven. There's the companion call yet again, the ultimate flying through. He will still be doing chip damage, but it's still not enough, and as the crippling goo should come out at any given moment, there it is, flying through. The dive won't be enough to escape it, and it will be the round and the game in favour of Xenox and Randler.
Do they have to change their avatars again? ExBlack and Wing. Or is...
Nobody got that because they weren't here during the Esports World Tournament.
Oh well. Randler and Xenox as Team Keepo will be going their way to the semi-finals. Whereas on the other side of the bracket, have we updated? I'm going to...
Hang on, I'm going at him. I'm reloading right now. On the other side of the bracket, Project Horizon versus Hello. That might already be underway. We're going to be watching Team ExBlack face off against Team Bruce Lee in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere, we've got a hell of a lot more Battlerite coming your way.